Application part here. As part of the Hana Studio part, we discussed about the overview, landscape tab here to check the all the services and everything here. See here, system just started. You can see the CPU utilization is 99%, 99% here. It will show the live utilization, live CPU utilization. It will show here. So just if you wait for some time, it will slowly, it will come to the, it will be reduced slowly. It will be reduced status here. It will be reduced status here. See here, reduced already. It's reduced already. Then alerts tab. So alerts, if any critical issues, high CPU, high memory, anything, it will create the alerts in the alerts tab here. The next one is the performance tab. That we know the performance tab. What does it mean by performance tab here? In the performance tab, when you open the Hana Studio, it will create the one session, right? When you who logged into the Hana Studio, it will create the from which application, what is the user you are using, what is the database user, what is the IP you are using. All the information will be tracked in the session, right? One session is initiated. For each session, multiple threads will be created here. One session, multiple threads are created here. And blocked transactions, all these things we discussed here. Volumes tab. The volumes tab means the volumes. So the size of the our storage, data volume, how much free, log volume, how much free, the trace volume, how much free, all the information we got it here. All the information we got it here. All the information, so we got it here. So all the information we got it from here, right? The configuration tab. So configuration tab is mainly for the changes about the your Hana database here. Suppose you want to do the some changes about the your Hana database. You want to do the some changes here. So you want to do the some changes here. In this case, so you have the here you need to change the files here. Normally, if any SAP changes, where can we go and changes here? SAP related parameters. So where can we change? SAP related parameters. Suppose SAP related, you want to change any configuration settings, where can we change?
RZ10 and RZ11.
RZ12.
Yeah, RZ10 and RZ11, we can change the SAP parameters. Means SAP configuration settings and everything, we can change it here. By default, you will get. I hope you guys forget all those things, right? Okay, good. Very super. Okay, so then it will come to the Hana. In the Hana related things, we can change it in the configuration tab. Hana related things, we can change it in the configuration tab here. In the configuration tab, here we need to change the all the files, INI files, we have to change it here, right? INI files. Suppose you want to change the any name server related information, then you can go to the name server.ini. Preprocessor, script server, web server, access engine. So all those things, if you want to change anything, you need to adjust this configuration parameters. We have to adjust it here. So for Hana related any parameter changes, we have to do the changes in the configuration tab. Hana related any parameter changes, we have to do it in the configuration tab. We have to do the changes here. In the configuration tab, we have to do the changes here, right? So in the configuration tab, all the changes, everything we have to perform it here. In the configuration tab, all the changes and everything we have to perform it here, right? All the changes and everything we have to perform it here in the configuration tab. Suppose example, you want to change the some timeout parameters, right? Normally, we cannot remember hundreds of parameters. It will come by default or as per EWA, someone recommend us to change the parameter. If you are not sure, then go to the filters tab here. So you remember only timeout, just timeout. You just only timeout parameter. Then here you can see the timeout parameter. All the values will be displayed here. So you want to change the session timeout parameter value. Currently the session timeout parameter is 24 hours. Means once you log into the Hana Studio, next day 24 hours your session will be disconnected if you are in the idle status. If you are the idle for some time, your session will be disconnected for after idle connection time. This is the you do. So some companies, they will go for the 3 hours or 4 hours. So 2 hours or 60 minutes, 60 minutes, your session is idle, new value, session is idle, then immediately your connection will be disconnected. Like that, I have done the changes here, right? So these are the standard configuration. You want to change that one. You want to change that one, then immediately you need to change the value here. You need to change the value here. That is what here we have this session timeout parameters, all the parameters. If you don't know what is exactly here, all right. Sometimes you may get the full parameter. You are not sure where to change it, either global data NI or here you are not sure. Then in the filter condition, just enter the parameter name. So it will be displayed. You can change it here. So if any changes about the tenant database, you need to change from the system DB only. So normally in the last class we have one doubt. Sir, everything is storing in the tenant DB only. Because in the tenant we have the index server, all the data resides in the tenant DB. Then what is the use of the system DB? Then the system DB is to monitor the tenant databases, system database, to do the administration part of the system tenant databases. You need to use the system DB, the administration part. We want to stop the tenant, then here you can stop and start restart the system, but you cannot do directly from the here. You cannot do directly from the your tenant database. You want to stop the tenants, you need to use the system DB only. If you want to change the parameter, if you want, you need to use the, so you need to use the system DB only. So everything it will be controlled by the system DB only, which means ground floor. Ground floor will control the first floor, second floor, third floor related tenants. It will control it. Why? Because in the ground floor, owners will stay, right? Normally. So the owners will control the tenants, right? So same as like here. So suppose you want to change the some parameters are, you need to restart the system. Some parameters you don't need to restart the systems here. Some parameters you have to do the restarts. You have to perform the restarts here. Some parameters. Some parameters you don't need to do the restarts. So how can I know which parameters we have to do the restarts, which parameters we don't need the restart here? So here there is a SAP standard site is there here. To check all those things, SAP Hana parameter restart or not. There is a SAP standard, no, SAP standard blog is there here. So here, if you go here you will come to know which one you have to change the parameter. All the information will be displayed here. So which parameters you need to restart the configured online or offline. So that will give the information here. That will give the information. That site will give the information here. Right? Let me show you here. There is a one parameter. Yes, this is the one. So there is a section. There is a direct parameter dot. Not here. Multiple ways. So, but one method is very interesting method. So before you go and restart the system, here it will give the information whether it's required whether it is required the restart or not. It will give the information here. That is a SAP standard site only. Just checking here. What is the parameter name? There is a one site here. Let me check. Just 1 minute. Let me check. SCM. So you can see here open CDXC. Here we can check it out. Check the hint of the parameter looking at the configured or online. So parameters, just to practice to check the checks. Yes, we got it now. So this is the one. Here, if you provide the parameter name here in the table, just if you provide the parameter name, it will lot of parameters are there here. If you provide the one parameter, suppose global underscore memory limit parameter. You just check this parameter value. Global allocation limit, GAL, global allocation limit parameter. So this we have to change in the global.ini memory manager global allocation limit here, right? So global.ini, then memory manager, in the memory manager here there is a global allocation limit parameter we have to set. Currently this is parameter is for the memory restriction. HANA is the purely memory based. So this parameter is for the memory restriction parameter here. Suppose in the system, if you want to change any parameter, so we can change it, we can restrict it. Anything we can restrict from here, right? Just click the new value 1, new value win, so that new value 1, so that here, so not the 1. 0 means it's unlimited memory usage here. So suppose currently your RAM size is here 37 GB. Now you want to assign 30 GB or 25 GB. Then just you can put the 25 value here. Just click on the OK button here. Then when you go to the system DB here 33 GB is allocated here, right? Just click on the OK button here. Then almost 25 GB is restricted here. So which means HANA is limited to use only 25 GB only, even though you have the 39 GB is available, but it will use only 25 GB only. But where you restricted here in the global allocation limit parameter is for the memory restriction parameters. Here you have restricted here. So it won't use the much operating system level parameters, much operating system memory. So you want to know whether you changed immediately the value impacted. You changed the parameter, immediately it got changed, right? Immediately it got changed here. Let me check, let me make it to the 20 GB here, right? 20 GB here, 20 GB here. Then as soon as you changed it here, immediately it will affect. So which means this is the online parameter. This is the online parameter, which means you no need to restart the system here. Some parameters are you need to restart the system. SAP level also, right? Static parameter and a dynamic parameter. Here also you need to restart the HANA system here. But some parameters are not required. Then which parameter? In this case, go to this site here. In this site, you can see, just click on this select, choose the parameter, which one you want to choose it. Then go back here. Here you can see restart required or not. False. False means you no need to restart the system. It will be impacted automatically. So what is this parameter? This is the memory restriction parameter. 0 means responsible allocation is 90 to 97% of physical memory. It will use it here. It will use it here. 0, if you put the 0 here. So like this, any parameter value, if you change it here, if you want to check whether restart is required or not, here in this table we can find out here. In this table we can find out whether restart is required or not. We can find out from here, right? So here what we can do, so suppose like some timeout parameter. Suppose previously we have changed the some session idle timeout parameter to 60, right? We want to check whether it's required the restart or not. Idle underscore connection underscore timeout, right? Idle underscore connection underscore timeout here. IDLE idle underscore connection underscore timeout value. So This is for the session timeout parameter value here. So by opening this one, you will come to know whether restart is required or not. Restart required, true. Okay, restart required, true. So session timeout parameter value here. So restart required, if it is a restart required says false, then you no need to restart the system. If the restart required says true, definitely we need to, if the restart required false, these all are the false, right? Only one rare cases some parameters are true. Then in this case, we need to restart our SAP system. Restart our SAP system, sorry, HANA systems, we have to restart it here, right? The most important parameters are the memory restriction parameters. In the global data NI, we have the memory restriction parameters here. Memory restriction parameter here in the memory manager. It will control the memory restriction here, allocation limit. So, and memory restriction parameters, the statement memory limitation parameters. So it will restrict it so that these are the some performance related transaction codes, some performance related transaction codes here, some performance related transaction codes. So it will create the some information here, okay. So that this configuration tab is purely for the changes of the HANA parameters. So you have the existing configuration, default values, SAP recommended values are available here. But you don't want to use this one. You want to use your own settings here. That time you have to go to the configuration tab. Then you need to use this one. Configuration tab. You have to change the value and you need to restart the system. That's it. Okay, got it? Any questions? Any clarification required? Anyone? It's clear, right? Simple. HANA level, if you want to change anything, you need to change the parameters. Values, if you want to change the configuration or anything, you have to go to the configuration tab, just to which parameter you want to change. So if you don't know, let's filter it here. Then we can change the value here in the configuration tab. Got it right? Any questions, anyone? Hello, am I audible, right?
Yes, yes.
It is audible, sir. It is audible.
Okay, you are
Yes.
clear, right? With this one. Simple. SAP level, how we will change the parameters RZ10 and RZ11, then we will restart the system, right? But here
Right.
also, so here also we will change the HANA related parameters, everything we will change it in the configuration tab. We will restart it. But here, the multiple ways in HANA level to check whether restart is required or not. If the restart required is false, then you no need to restart the system here. Then, so if you don't need, then again, we don't need to restart the system here. It is the true, then we need to restart the system. Suppose see here, if you change this parameter, immediately it won't affect. There is a default 2, I will make it 3. I don't know what is this parameter value also, but it won't affect immediately. Why? Because we need to restart the system, the number of log segments we format for each partition. This is the description of this parameter. If any request from SAP or if you are facing some issues, SAP will ask you to change the parameter value. Then we can change the parameter value. But you are not sure whether restart is required or not. Just go to this site, SAP standard site, help.sap.com. Here you can put here you can just mention the value. Then if the restart is required, true or false, then based upon the true, restart is we have to do the restart. False means you no need to do the restart here. This way we can finalize the here. Where to change it means in the HANA Studio, in the configuration tab, we have to change the values here. So for tenant related all the values also we can change it here. So only you need to change it from systemdb. So systemdb is the here we can change the values here. Okay. The next one is the system information. So system information means just some small information required from our system. You no need to go dig inside of the system, check it out. Just execute the predefined SQL statements as statements. You can execute it. It will provide the information here. See here in the connection, SAP Windows 1, one connection is there, which is the system user remote connection, which is the duration of this connection is very high, right? So idle time is very high. So which means, so system still, even though it disconnected, it's not disconnected, I guess, still it is available here. So which means if it is system still the connection is idle, it should be disconnect after the 24 hours after the connection. Now it's not disconnecting here. So session, right? So if you change the parameter value, if you put some restriction, so it will change now. It will change it. So it will change it here based upon the value. The values will be changed here, right? That is the parameter values here. So these are the some system information related settings here. So suppose if you need some size of the tables, right click and execute it. If you need some information about the database, just click on the execute. You will get the database related information here. If you want to caches, execute caches related information here. So system information, that's why system information tab. If you need some information from the your HANA system, you don't need to go and check where to check the information and everything here. Just to go to the system information tab, see the available options here, what information the customer or a friend is looking, just to select it, just execute it, that will give the information here, right? That will give the information from here, right? That is the system information tab here. So next one is the diagnosis files. It's a very important log files here. This is the entire HANA Studio. This is the very informative information interesting tab here, right? So what does it mean? So each work process, each family member in the HANA database, it will create the one log file here. Compile server log file, daemon.log file, name server.log file, preprocessor.log file. So web dispatcher.log file here, right? So landscape.log file here, right? So name server, landscape, web dispatcher, all the log files are there here. All the log files are there here. So all the log files are there here. So here each process, it will generate the one log file here. How it is run, same as like in the work directory, work process log files, right? The one underscore work process 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. Same here, HANA database related, all the log files we can check it out here. This is a tenant related index server, access engine related log files here. If you open the log file, here it will give the clear information, what is happening with my HANA system, how the index server is responding, is there any error messages here, is there any error logs here. So all the information will be displayed here, it will be tracked here in the log files here. Suppose even the tenant databases, you want to check the name server.log file here, go to the name index server, here name server trace file. Just to open the name server trace file. So what's happening with my name server here, right? What's happening with my name server here? All the query get value ID, all the information is recorded here. All the information got recorded in the system here, right? All the information it got recorded in the system here, right? You can see here all the information it got recorded. So here, based upon this error log, we can find out what is the error of the index server, name server, web dispatcher, all the information. In the systemdb related log files are available. Systemdb means web dispatcher, preprocessor, compile server, name server, daemon related log files are services will run on the systemdb. Those related log files we can check it out from here, right? And tenant specific, in each tenant we have the index server related log files are available here, right? Those information we can check it out. So even though you are unable to find out the information, right? You are unable to find out some information from the HANA database with the existing logs. With existing logs, you are unable to find out. If you need more logs, then go to the trace configuration. Here you can configure the trace. Suppose you want to configure the performance trace. Same as like ST01, ST05, right? Just you can enable the tracing. Just see, it will collect the performance trace here. See here, the performance tracing. You want to connect the SQL trace statement trace. Just we can enable the SQL statements here. So what are the long running SQL statements will be recorded here. So you want to the particular user every day is logging to the system, he is doing something. You want to check that log files here. So then we can just go to give the username, what suppose like Ravi user. Who is the database user? Ravi user. What is the application user? Suppose like ECP ADM. User logging with the ECP ADM, database user is the Ravi. Every day is logging to the system, is doing something, but logs are not getting recorded here. Logs are not getting recorded here. In this case, what we can do here? In this case, what we can do? We can configure the trace, the specific trace configured. So from now onwards, if the Ravi do something, everything will be recorded here. If Ravi do something in the system, all the log files will be recorded in the diagnosis files. So we can pull it, we can get what exactly the Ravi is doing in the system. What exactly the Ravi is doing in the system, all the information we can find out from here. That is what here we can say the information. That is what we can say the information here. Okay, so that is the main thing of the diagnosis files here. Diagnosis files means it's kind of index server log files here, success engine log files here. So information diagnosis files means suppose when you go to the hospital, when you visit the doctor immediately he won't diagnosis your things, right? You need some reports. You need some reports. He will analyze that report, right? So same way, he will ask you to get the report. Then he will go to the diagnostic center, then he will get the report and he will share to your doctor. Then he will check that diagnostic report. Then based upon that, he will write the prescription. Same as like here, so you are the doctor, right? So these are the process. They are the family members. Then you need to check what is happening with my index server, name server, P process, something is down, something is restarted. You need to check the logs, why it got restarted, why system is slow, why it is using. So all these things are available here, right? By default, something it is available, something we can find out from here. Even though it's not no luck, the logs are not enough. Then go to the trace configuration. We can configure the specific trace here. Some performance trace we can find out here. Some end-to-end traces we can find out from here. So this information we can find out from here. So this is the trace related information here. Okay, this is the trace related information. So this is about the entire Hana Studio. The tabs here, the main important tabs are the first 4 tabs here. OLAP, alerts, performance. These 4 are very, very important here. And D, diagnosis files, very important log files here. Here check all the log files here. It's a very important log files here, right? Configuration is as and when required, we will go and configure. Otherwise, we cannot touch these configurations, right? So if the logs are not enough, that time we will go and configure the traces. More configurations, more logs we can grab from the system here, right? More logs we can grab from the system here. This is the information here, right? So that is the information about the Hana Studio here. So in the Hana Studio, you can see right click on the system DB. We can restart the system also. From here, we can restart it. OS level, we can use the HDB space info. We can restart it here. From here, we can do it. And from there also, we can do the information here. Here also, we can do, and OS level also commands also, we can do the restarts here, right? So this is Hana Studio administration part here, right? So any questions from anyone here? Any questions, concerns? Is it clarified? The first 4 tabs are the very important. They may ask you questions, multiple questions on their first 4 tabs only.
Hello.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, we have overview tab right in kernel version. Is there in GUI we upgrade from SPS and release upgrade, right? Here, what the approach we go for kernel version upgrades?
Here kernel version upgrade. So we have a topic SAP. Here there is no kernel version upgrade in the HANA. Just only
Okay.
HANA upgrades we have. That is the our next topics. It will come serial wise. So how to update the our HANA systems, that will come. That time I will explain it. Right. Just only
Okay.
HANA Studio administration tabs. If you have any issues, just let me know. Just to have now
Okay.
you got it right. All the information. This is the way we need to troubleshoot the HANA issues. So next one. We need to
Sir,
discuss. Yes.
if there is an issue with the HANA DB, where can we check these diagnosis files rather than here?
So one more way,
Log file.
operating
Okay.
system level, operating system level. So our topics will come. So next to our topic is OS level file systems here. OS level file systems. So in case SAP is HANA is having some issues, then you cannot connect to the HANA Studio also. Then you got the right path. Then how can we connect to the HANA Studio to check the logs? Right? Not possible. Then one more way, OS level, operating system level, go to the directory. Then there we can check the log files here. Just go to the CD trace after connecting here, then you will get the log files here. So name server, daemon, all the log files are available. There is a separate topic for HANA file system related. That time I will explain more.
Okay, sir.
So if already if no one practiced the HANA Studio administration tab, so just log into the HANA Studio, add the your HD7, then monitor your HANA systems, stop and start monitor. So then tomorrow we'll go for the high level topics here. So one is the OS level file systems, then HANA upgrades, HANA. So delta merge, many topics are there. So that we will discuss. Okay. So just but today, yeah, okay, 15 minutes we have still, but please practice it. Okay. Just to practice the things today. All the things you can practice studio related. So tomorrow we'll go for the new topic and the next topic here. Okay.
Sir, block